I don't want to be just a content creator. I want to be a content creator. In my first year of creating content for YouTube, I made a total of 0. Now I know exactly what happened, and in this video I'm gonna break it down so that you don't make the same mistakes. But this isn't a video about finances. It's about feelings, you know? It's about how self-esteem can make or break your success here on YouTube. Now, what do I know about YouTube success? I literally just said that I haven't made any money. But then again, neither did Mr. Beast in his first year. And look where he is now. Huge, massive class action audience. What I'm trying to say is that the YouTubers who are successful are the YouTubers who didn't quit. I started this channel in January 2024, which is exactly 12 months ago. I didn't really have any fixed goal. I wasn't really focused on subscriber count or anything like that. My plan was pretty simple. I'd make 100 videos and then evaluate. I figured that would be 40 or 50 videos in the first year, and my hope was that I would get monetized within 18 months. Things happened a little bit differently though. One of my early videos popped off and I ended up hitting 1,000 subscribers in half the time that I thought. I thought I was gonna be one of those YouTubers who makes a video like,
"Here's how I got monetized in under 1 year."
But it didn't happen. And today is the very last day of 2024 and it still hasn't happened. To explain why, I'm gonna have to rewind a bit. I've been creating content for brands as a freelancer for almost 15 years. I came into YouTube with the skills, the experience, and all the gear that I needed. And I feel that all of these helped me gain subscribers in a relatively short time span. On a technical level, I approached YouTube like a pro. But there was one thing that all the gear and skills couldn't help me with: my self-esteem. Self-worth and self-esteem are not the same thing. Self-worth is your internal belief that you are valuable. It is stable and it doesn't really depend on external factors. Self-esteem, on the other hand, is how you evaluate yourself based on your abilities, your achievements, and other external factors. When I started this channel, my self-esteem was high. I knew what I was doing, I knew that I was good at it, and I knew that I would enjoy it. But then something changed, something that didn't really have anything to do with YouTube. I got a full-time job creating content for a big brand. It was the kind of offer that only a crazy person would refuse. And I figured that I would do that and also make YouTube videos on the side. And that didn't happen, but not because of lack of time or energy. I had 16 waking hours in a day. 8 of them were spent at work, and the other 8 were spent drowning in a sea of anxiety and self-doubt. From the outside, the job looked like a content creation job where I would create the content for the brand. But the reality is that it was more of a social media management and cropping pictures role. Now, I'm pretty good at cropping pictures, but keeping track of multiple social media accounts on different platforms, that is the kind of work that doesn't work with my brain. So basically, I sucked. I sucked hard at this job, and not in the fun way. For the first time in my life, I felt inapt. I was told that I was giving junior level performance at a senior level salary. I was told that I was expected to hit the ground running faster than I did. And all of this was really new to me because I've always been a freelancer and I've never really been evaluated because I've always been my own boss. Every mistake, every typo, every missing hashtag was pointed out on a daily basis. And this really ate at me because I was failing at very simple things. At one point, I was so stressed that I literally just started crying. After 4 months, I was called in for a job evaluation, and initially I had intended to say stuff like, you know, I'm gonna push through, I'm learning, blah, blah, blah. But when they asked me, hey, Anthony, how are you feeling? I was like, you know what? I don't feel good. I hate this. Well, I didn't say that, but I said something along those lines, and they were like, oh, cool, we're on the same page because we're firing you. Honestly, I was so relieved because those were one of the worst 4 months of my life, and I'm not exaggerating. So with that out of the way, I got my time back and I could start making YouTube videos again. And I started, but something had changed because I was procrastinating more than usual. I was being more of a perfectionist. I was constantly finding reasons not to film. There was always something and I wasn't really getting anything done. By the time I had hit 1,000 subscribers, I had only uploaded 13 videos. I had enough subscribers to get monetized, but I didn't meet the 4,000 watch hours required. So basically, my content was good, I just didn't have enough of it. I told myself that it was just a temporary lack of motivation and I just needed to, do something and get my mojo back. But the thing is, the procrastination and perfectionism and laziness were just symptoms of something deeper. The real problem was that my self-esteem had taken a big hit and I needed time to recover. 4 months of being told that I wasn't good enough really messed with my head. It brought up a lot of childhood trauma of being less than. When I was little, I was always the slowest writer in class. I needed to have extra private tutoring for almost everything because I couldn't keep up with the other students. And I feel that I always had to work extra hard to have the same achievement as other people. And as an adult, I have dropped out of every form of higher education that I started. I quit medical school twice, I quit film school once, and I don't have a higher education. All of these failures finally made sense when I was diagnosed with ADHD a couple of years ago. I wasn't stupid or incompetent or less than, my brain just works differently. And the thing is, I kind of figured this out subconsciously because I have designed my career in such a way that I'm only doing the things that work with my brain. Now, this job required me to do a bunch of things that didn't work with my brain. But I didn't know this because in the past I had organically steered away from these activities. So it basically played to my weaknesses and gave me no chances to show my strengths. And I think that was what was really painful with the whole experience. The fact that I wasn't doing well at that job, objectively. And anyone who experienced me at that job probably thought, well, that's all he can do. So how could I create content, teaching content creation, when I had just been fired from a job that had content creator in the title? It's like my imposter syndrome had been confirmed. Now, of course, I wasn't conscious of any of this back then. On the surface, it was like, oh no, I can't find the right shade of blue to paint my room. I guess I can't do any content this month. Oh, that's the blue, by the way, nothing special. But yes, it did keep me from shooting for a month. The lowest point I hit in all of this was when it suddenly occurred to me that maybe I'm not as successful as I think I should be because I've never actually been good at content creation, and that people have always been either too nice to tell me or they haven't thought that I am worth telling and they just didn't hire me in the future. This thought was so absurd that I kind of snapped out of it and I did something funny, but practical. I went through all of the invoices that I had ever written. Each invoice was objective proof that someone valued my work enough to give me money for it. I think for me, looking at the invoices was actually more powerful than looking at the work itself. That's all I needed to get my head back on straight, and I started making videos again. But then something else happened, the law of attraction. Because I was feeling so connected to the value in my work, I think I manifested more work. I got so much work in the last 3 months of 2024 that I had zero time to make any YouTube videos. So I still ended up not posting anything and not getting monetized. But this time for the best possible reasons. I was out in the world, creating content and getting paid for it. Speaking of which, I want to thank today's sponsor. Today's sponsor is all the money that I made from the last 3 months of 2024. Wow! Back to you. That's great. I have a post-it in front of my computer screen and it says, keep it simple. I really need to see that all the time because I tend to make things really complicated for myself. This video, I feel, is kind of like a digital post-it. I'm making it more for myself to remember that inevitably life is gonna throw things at you that will make you doubt yourself and make you forget bits of who you are. And I need to be reminded that it is okay to take a step back and look for ways to reconnect. And the best thing about that is the more connected I am with myself, with my intentions, my goals, the more available for connection I become to life, to people, to new experiences. A year ago, I would not have guessed that starting a YouTube channel would give me such insights about myself and my self-esteem. But here we are. I've heard some people say that the best life coach is starting a business. And I guess that a YouTube channel is essentially a business. It's one that I look forward to exploring in an emotionally healthy way. I don't want to be just a content creator. I want to be a content content creator. So if you're struggling with lack of motivation, perfectionism, procrastination, take a minute to stop and consider maybe there's something deeper going on. Next time you're in a state of mind that keeps you from achieving your goals, ask yourself, what exactly am I afraid of? You probably won't get an answer right away, but eventually something's gonna come up if you keep going. And remember, successful creators are creators who didn't quit.